I swear, one of these days I will get it. One of these days I will get it. I will have a flawless launch. Okay, well, welcome to the jungle, everybody. My name is Baloo, and this is the channel where we take a very simple approach to technical analysis. We look at the price in the context of volume using the Wyckoff method. If that is something that interests you, then why don't you leave me a follow on Twitch, or if you're watching the replay on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with what is going on in the crypto sphere. Yeah, that kind of threw me off. But anyways, in today's video, I want to cover Bitcoin, I want to cover Ethereum, and a couple random altcoins that the community will let me know what they want to take a look at in the chat. But basically, for the last couple days here, we have been focused on building the case that support is being built. And I think we're starting to see that support. We're starting to see the effects of confidence coming back into the market, and we're seeing a lot of tentative support ranges. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin here. So we're taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily chart. You can see that we have a large candle off of this automatic reaction line. This initial line was drawn as a result of this wick on this second down day, and we've been holding as support. If I go down to the lower time frames, you can see here that we tested it once, twice, got below. I guess you could call this a bit of a spring, and we are now breaking through some of the local highs on this asset. One technique that I like to employ when looking for support is I like to use bullish divergence. So when I see the price of an asset come and slow down and kind of curl over on an area of which I think there is support that has been built, I then turn on the RSI. Oh, my mic is way too hot. Way too hot. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. All right, that's a lot more manageable, I think. Sorry about that. Well, anyways, I'll get there. But yeah, so basically, we have low, lower low, lower low. We can take a line and we can draw an angle on that. Let's just bring up the opacity on that one a little bit. Talking about rounded bottoms? Maybe. And then we have on the RSI a low, a higher low, and a higher low. So these are in disagreement, or what is commonly referred to as a divergence. There is bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence, and exaggerated bullish divergence. Do you need to know the difference? No, you don't. If there is a disagreement on the lows, it's bullish. If there's a disagreement on the highs, it's bearish. Problem solved. A lot of people struggle with identifying divergence. It's just the lows. The lows have a disagreement, we're bullish. If the highs have a disagreement, we're bearish. So, Bitcoin, we're seeing support being built. Now, I've started to look a little bit more at the Bitcoin pairs, not necessarily for trading setups per se, but to kind of help build the bullish case for support being built. For the longest time in this cycle in particular, we've been focusing a lot on the altcoin pairs. We've been focusing on the US dollar pair in our altcoin setups. And it has been the way to go. Since derivatives, since institutional players, there's just a lot of reasons that you would be looking at the US dollar pair. But, the Bitcoin whales are still around, okay? The 1,000 plus Bitcoin wallets, those guys still like to take a trade every once in a while in the altcoin space, but they're a lot more conservative, and they need to make sure that the space overall is trending in the direction that outcompetes Bitcoin. And that hasn't happened until now, okay? A lot of people think, there are obviously some outliers. Aave has been incredible. Link has been incredible. There's been a lot of outliers that have outperformed Bitcoin, but there's a lot of altcoins that have basically been in a bottoming pattern when compared to Bitcoin. So let's just go ahead and take a look at what's one that's really a nice comparative. Cardano. Everybody's talking about Cardano right now. So let's go to Cardano. If we just zoom out on Cardano, on the US dollar pair, it's pretty clear. You know what? I got a lot of drawings here. Sometimes it's good to get a fresh, clean slate. But we had an accumulation down here, and we've had a huge markup phase. Now, when we go and look at the Bitcoin comparative on Cardano, ADA BTC, it's a very different story. We're just leaving a bottoming pattern inside of Cardano. So what does that mean? That means up until this point right here, you would have been better off just holding Bitcoin. It wasn't until we broke out of this high right here, came and tested and started rallying against Bitcoin, that we really started outperforming, and it would have made sense to hold Cardano. So basically, you didn't need to, all you needed to hold was Bitcoin until 54 days ago. And that kind of surprises a lot of people, but that's kind of the value that is brought with these Bitcoin comparatives, is not so much the trading setup per se, but the ability to monitor if you should have taken the altcoin risk or if you should have just stayed in the safety of the Bitcoin network. So this is what the whales are looking at. This is what the large OG Bitcoin investors are looking at. They want to see these charts start to outcompete before they think about taking any positions. Bitcoin has a lot of liquidity in it. It's 60, what is it? Bitcoin is currently at a dominance of 62%. 62% of the $1 trillion, 62% of the entire market cap inside of the crypto space is locked up in Bitcoin. There's a lot of liquidity in Bitcoin. And when the whales start to see opportunities elsewhere, that's when you get the really big parabolic runs inside of the altcoin space. So that has yet to present itself until just recently. A couple other plays that I would like to take a look at is, let's go ahead and take a look at GRT. There's a lot of people that were asking me about where we are with GRT, and I'm starting to notice something very significant in the charts that is absolutely worth noting when watching these pullbacks, watching these corrections, and trying to determine where the support may be. So GRT is having a great day today, but there's really no price structure back here that would have told you, thanks for the sub there, that would have told you that this would be, that we would land on support. Usually you'll have a structure that you can have the price action land on. And we're kind of in no man's land here. I mean, in theory, based on this chart, we don't have support until we get way back down. Wait, was that a Twitch subscriber? Standard practice, subscribed with Prime. Okay, see, I'm so used to YouTube. A Twitch sub, that's a big deal. Thank you very much, Standard practice. I really appreciate that. That's kind of the biggest way that we make money on Twitch, so thank you for that. But yeah, we're looking at basically coming down to support here if we're looking at the US dollar pair. But I don't think that that is the case. And I can build that bullish comparative when I take a look at the Bitcoin pair. So if I go over to Bitcoin and go to GRT BTC, we can see a pretty different scenario unfolding. So we're here on the daily. We're here on the daily, and this is the structure that I'm looking at. So we had a previous buyer's climax right here, and we've made note of that level, and we've broken out of it, and we're now coming down to test it as support. So yes, continue to do your charting in US dollars, but we're in a bull market. So, people are willing to come out and play right now. The whales are willing to come out and play. So, take into consideration what is going on with the Bitcoin pair. I realize that it's a much more volatile pair, which is why you should stick with US dollars, but it's nice to know that the whales and other people that maybe gave up on the US dollar a long time ago or have no reason to really care about the US dollar, these are the charts that they're looking at, and we're landing perfectly on support with GRT on the Bitcoin pair. So I actually really like this. I think this is a very bullish thing to be looking at. this is really kind of painting the picture towards an altcoin cycle, and not one of these little wimpy altcoin cycles. This is going to be kind of the face melting moves that the 2017 bull run brought to the altcoin space. Obviously, you know, nothing is a guarantee, but the conditions are presenting themselves. The conditions are right. And I think that, you know, just hold on to your hats. I would advise against contracts right now. I would advise against leverage. The volatility is very, very intense. Really intense volatility right now. You can get stopped out. You can get margin calls very easily. We're in a very bullish environment, and I think we're going to see some altcoins potentially multiply by several times from this point forwards. A lot of people are really bearish on the space. A lot of people call it bear market already. And I just think that it's ridiculous that we would be in a bear market right now. Just to kind of, you know, bring us back to reality here, if I go back to Bitcoin, you know, this is a higher low. High, low, higher high, higher low. As long as we hold this area, I mean, we've got all the way down to 30K. That may be uncomfortable for a lot of people to think about the possibility of breaking that level, but I don't think that we are going to break that level. I think that the bullish case can really be built here. We're in a very positive and trending environment. The shakeouts occur, and the sentiment changes with the shakeouts. Everybody calls bear when there's these pullbacks. This pullback wasn't even that severe, really. 23% pullback, not even to the wick. But you know, this is very healthy. This just liquidates a lot of longs who are bullish on the space and they want to re-enter. They find more capital. They look between the cushions and they find some change to get back into the market. And you know, we just bring liquidity back into the space. So yeah, I'm very excited to watch this area right here develop and form support. Ethereum, man, is there a lot of FUD on Ethereum right now. So many people bearish on Ethereum, and it just, again, I don't see it. We have a higher low. I had somebody DM me the other day and be like, yeah, man, you know, Ethereum is just really underperforming. I've been thinking it's been gonna do well for like 2 months and it hasn't done anything. Okay, so let's go back 60 days. 60 days ago, Ethereum was at $721.75. It's now at $1,500. It's more than doubled. Be patient. Be patient. Just because you're seeing these alternative chains and these alternative protocols outperform, that's not, you know, that's just the here and now. It doesn't, Cardano may perform well, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to outperform Ethereum for a huge amount of time, and there's going to be volatility associated with that. So yeah, people get all excited when they see the 20-30% moves to the upside, but they're not taking into account all the 15-20% moves to the downside, whereas Ethereum might just be doing 5s, 10s, you know, back 10, whatever the case may be. You have to really compare the asset against what it is that you're trying to outcompete. So, you know, if you were wondering what you should choose between Ethereum and Cardano, maybe there's an Ethereum ADA. Is there? ADA, ETH. Yeah, Cardano, Ethereum. If you want to know which one you should be holding, right now it's Cardano. Okay, now these are not the charts that you go and find the technical setups on. This is just where you gather information to determine which one is the better hold. Right now, yeah, Cardano is outperforming Ethereum, but not by a ton, just by this much right here, which is probably a pretty good move, but still, like, everybody thinks that it's miles ahead of Ethereum, and it's just not. I mean, it's 86% up, but still, you know, it's not even, anyways, take a look at these pairs, okay? Take a look at these pairs. Okay, what is another coin that we can take a look at? Aave. Aave is another one. Aave has been an incredible asset through this run. Really, really powerful asset. And we're coming down and hitting a support line. So now we just got to break through some of these highs, some of these resistance lines. If we can get back above $600, we're going to rip again. you know, Aave looks really good. It's a very healthy chart. It's just, it needed a retracement. The whole market needed a retracement. I'm not bearish. Everybody flips so bearish so quickly, and it just boggles my mind. Okay, now we'll open it up to the community. Let's see what let's catch up with the comments here. Cactus and ananas. Nice intro, thank you. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm late today. I was trying to get everything dialed in and I still muted myself before actually starting to speak. But yeah, fun little intro, a little hypey, but hey. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Dusk. So Dusk, I haven't heard that one in a while. Let's go ahead and take a look. Dusk Network on Tether. So Dusk has had a pretty good run here. Nice bottoming pattern. Okay, yeah. So, and this is on the US dollar pair. So, you know, there's a lot of assets that have already left their US dollar accumulation. This is the first real move outside of the accumulation phase on Dusk. So let me just slap a trading range on here. Right at the change of character. Pull that across. It spent a lot of time underperforming, a ton of time underperforming. I'll just put it up there at the last high, even though it's further down, but we're leaving. So we're looking for support back here. Now, again, let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin, the Bitcoin pair. So this is Dusk on the daily. Let's go to Dusk on the Bitcoin pair and see what we can see. So yeah, it's just starting to curl up. It hasn't made a higher high. So potentially we start to, you know, form support at a higher low, but this would be the very first higher low on Dusk. So let's just go to the previous low back here. I'll just grab a support range right here. Let's put it right down there. Now we'll go up here. So yeah, we want to at least find support down here at around 240 Satoshis, give or take, somewhere around there. Okay, dropped a 0x chart and peer review charts tab on the Discord. All right, cool. Yeah, so for those who are not signed up for VIP, I have a VIP trading group. We focus a lot on education. We obviously have a lot of trading setups as well. But for those who are tuning in from the private island, I actually have 2 classrooms today. So I have one at 1 o'clock with the private island. And then I've also got, I do some content creation and work with the Arcane Bear. So I've also got a virtual classroom at 2 p.m. Eastern with the Arcane Bear. In those classrooms, we basically go through your charts. So you have an idea, you have a coin that you're interested in, you chart it up, leave it in peer review, and we go over it together as a community. And it's an awesome way for you to really kind of get ahead of the curve as far as understanding, you know, analysis. You know, it's an art, it's not a science. You know, if there was a formula, we would be able to just plug it into a calculator, but there is no formula. It's an art. It's not a science. So being able to pick the brain of a community of analysts that are trading and doing really well in this market can really help you kind of get a leg up in the right direction. Obviously, becoming a professional trader where this can be your job takes time. And I encourage that slowing down of really wanting to go and you know, quit your job and make money every day. It takes time. It's a skill that I highly recommend that you do. It's completely changed my life. I come from the trades. You know, I used to be an arborist, so I was like climbing trees and you know, flying around with a chainsaw and risking my life on a daily basis. And then I figured out how to do technical analysis and how to become a trader. And that's basically what I'm here to help you guys do, because it's changed my life, and I'm very grateful not only for the skills that I've acquired, but the community too. I'm very grateful to have such an incredible community full of people just really willing to learn. So yeah. Okay, let's see, what else? That was Dusk. Harmony, we can take a look at Harmony, sure. Yeah, let's take a look at Harmony. 1 USD. Thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Gazogator. So Harmony seems to be leaving an accumulation range as well. This is really good. So this is really encouraging because we're seeing some, thanks for the follow, ZZZ054. We're seeing some of these accumulation ranges still exist. You know, these are few and far between now. So the market is progressing. We're getting a lot of these assets finishing up their accumulation phases. When the accumulation is complete, there's no more weak hands and you can really start marking the price up. So one looks great. Let's break down the move here. Let me just zoom in on one here. So a little bit of a flag, very shaky flag, but that's okay. We're in a shakeout, so it's not going to be super clear. But it's looking nice. We have nice support on this EMA. I use a weird EMA. It doesn't matter the number you pick. You know, I go for a higher number because the higher the number, the more the substantial the trend is. The more established the uptrend is. You know, if you want short-term trends, use small numbers. I'm using the 147, which is basically the 150. That's kind of like a general large market move trend line that you could follow. So we are trending up. The line is going up, so we are trending up. So yeah, we're looking to break this line right here. If we can break above this and find support on top of it, this is basically what you're looking for an entry inside of one. So get a break, allow it to come back down and test and move up. Basically, as soon as you break this area right here, this is your entry inside of one. That's the safest way that you can enter this asset. It does look like it's getting rid, and that's, you know, don't try and catch the bottom. Wait for confirmation. If you really want to get skin in the game, if you want to front run these things, here's how you front run an asset, okay? Basically, when you're looking to front run, you buy the breakout with a portion of your holding, okay? Then you buy the retest, okay, with another portion of your position. So whatever position you were thinking of, divide it up. Okay, and then you buy the break of the last level. That's scaling into the position. That allows you to kind of front run a little bit and get some good prices. And if it just takes off, you have exposure. Okay, so it's kind of a good way, especially in a bull run. You can buy breakouts in a bull run. Don't use this strategy in a bear market. Okay. All right, so yeah, that's Harmony. It's looking good. This is the first move up out of the accumulation. The next move up is going to be pretty good. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay. What about the lesser amount of volume on our last shakeout for ETH? Isn't that a sign of weakness? Yep, it is. And that's because, you know, we're in the speculative stage of the market right now. So, you know, just because you see a sign of weakness doesn't mean it's fundamentally weak. I'm bullish on Ethereum. And you're not going to flip me on that because we're in a bull market and we made a higher low. Is there a sign of weakness? Sure, but it's minor and it held on support. What he's referring to, for the rest of those wondering, is this amount of volume resulted in this type of downside spread, which was basically a downside spread of approximately 30%, okay? And then less volume required to get a higher result. So one of the three laws of Wyckoff, effort and result, and we got a 34% spread. It's just weak hands. It's just weak hands, you know? How many of these people were buyers too? There's still people defending this support level. They came in and defended here, and they were able to turn it around here. So it's still monitored. This is phase A. We're in phase A, which there's no positions being taken in phase A. I'm not worried about Ethereum. Everybody's saying, you know how many times Ethereum has been threatened to be killed? Honestly, if I had a penny, every time somebody had an Ethereum killer, it's not going to die. It's not going to die, in my opinion. And you can argue with me. I love a good argument. I don't care. I'm just a cartoon bear on the internet, and you're just listening to me for financial advice. So I don't know. I don't think Ethereum's going anywhere. Okay. Take a look at Matic. Yeah, so guys, those coming from the den, we're gonna go through all your charts in peer review. Matic just went straight up. Number go up, you know? Are you looking for an entry or are you looking to take profit? Here's a little quick thing on take profit. You need to know where you're taking profit ahead of time. If you don't know where you're taking profit, just try and figure it out when you're drunk on greed. It's very hard, very hard. You have to set up your trading plan ahead of the trade. When you're in the trade, good luck, good luck. If you did that, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. We're all learning, we're all growing, we're all developing as traders. But I'm just letting you know that when I enter a trade, I kind of have an idea as to where I'm going to take profit. I have the bullish case, I have the bearish case, and I pretty much know how it is that I'm going to handle a trade before I get in. And whatever that strategy may be, I hit this target and I take my initial investment out. I hit this target, I take profit. I hit this target, I take profit. I hit this target, I take profit. And whatever that may be, you have to have the plan ahead of time, because trying to think rationally when you're drunk on greed or just frightened is very, very, very hard. Very hard. Okay. Are you planning on exiting the markets entirely within the next movements ahead? Asking, assuming you also held a side stack other than the leveraged positions. All of my leveraged positions are done for now. I may consider opening up some put options when we get a little bit later on in the cycle and I want to protect and hedge my Bitcoin. My strategy moving forwards is, first of all, I've stopped adding to my positions. I've stopped adding fresh liquidity into my positions. No mas, it's all done. I'm transitioning into harvest mode. So on the next moves up, I'm going to be harvesting some profits. The way I'm going to be harvesting those profits is by trading them into Bitcoin. I'm going to trade into Bitcoin on a lot of my altcoin plays that are outperforming Bitcoin, lock in some of those Satoshi gains. And then when we get even further up into the market, I'm going to start exiting into US dollars. So right now, where we are in the market, we got a lot more upside, in my opinion. I've seen this before. I'll probably see it again. I'm not bearish. Don't let the name fool you. I've survived the winter and I can forage through the coins, but I'm not bearish right now. We are in a bull market and I maintain that position. Harvesting will come next. Okay. And also, exiting the markets entirely, I never will. I will never exit the market entirely. When I feel that we are transitioning into a bear market, I'm basically going to hold around 10% of my Bitcoin holding, because you just never know where the bottom is. And I will be hedging with options contracts, not futures contracts, because futures contracts are volatility driven and options contracts are time based. So I'll be buying 1 month option contracts on my positions. Okay, what's going on, Success Bull? Did you see the intro? I used your fancy text. I need to learn how to use Photoshop. I know how to use Canva pretty well, but Photoshop, I'm a ponce. I have no clue. Okay, Civic Ren. Physical silver is much safer. You know what? I agree that silver is kind of suppressed and undervalued, but I mean, I travel. I'm not lugging around any silver. I'm not even lugging around gold. I have some gold, but I don't think the dollar's really going anywhere anytime soon, at least not for the duration of the next bear cycle. That's my own sentiment. You can ask, you can have your own opinions. We're all trading differently. But yeah, silver, it's severely undervalued on its comparative, and I think it's being suppressed by the market. So if ever that suppression goes away, you're in a better position being in silver potentially. But keep in mind too, the custody, you need a lot of space for silver. Like this much silver is like $100, or I don't even know, but gold is just so much easier, and it serves the same purpose. I mean, even then, I don't know. Bitcoin travels well. It travels very easily. I actually don't need to carry it with me. So I kind of like Bitcoin. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep the comments civil, guys. We don't need to laugh at people for opinions. You know, if you want to have an argument, don't just laugh at the argument. Make the counter argument. Okay. What are your thoughts on stable coins? Do you recommend any in particular? I mean, for harvesting. I personally like DAI because I'm very much so invested in the Ethereum ecosystem, and you know, Tether has FUD. I don't know. Like, I really don't think Tether is going anywhere. But if you don't care about stable coins, you know, use Tether. Tether's accepted everywhere. I like DAI. It's part of the Ethereum ecosystem, and it's the same freaking thing. I don't know. Pick your poison. It really doesn't matter. Okay. Let me go back to my single chart, and let's get some of these charts that are being requested. BZRX. All right, we can take a look at that. Oh, wow. Where did the time go? I actually got to hop off pretty soon. BZRX. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that. It's up 11% on the day. Big drawback. Big drawdown, I guess I should say. It's resting really nice on a good level of support here. Let me just zoom in here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And we're seeing this on a lot of assets, actually. You know, I'm seeing support. I am seeing support. You know, this is a support level. It's holding on top of support. Buy support, sell resistance. This is, you know, technically a buy. When I say something's a buy, does that mean it's going to go up? No, it just means that based on the charts, this is a buy signal. We're sitting on support. Okay, let's take a look at REN real quick. REN has an interesting, you know, value proposition, although I'm not sure for the long run of any of these wrapped protocols. Maybe there's a day where we don't need to wrap coins. I don't know. A lot of these coins, by the way, you know, investing in altcoins right now, where is REN? I will hold 0 altcoins in the bear market. 0. I don't care how good you think the project is, it's going to retrace a heck of a lot more than Bitcoin will, okay? I'm not holding any altcoins through the bear market, which is unfortunate because the protocols are really exciting. They're really cool. It's fun to be involved with, you know, decentralized finance and all of these protocols that are building a decentralized future, but I'm not going to hold any altcoins in the bear market. So a little bit of a support range right here. It looks like we're bouncing off. Just keeping this one really simple. I'm not even Wyckoffing it. You know, the Wyckoff is down here in the accumulation. Once we start taking the stairs up, you're just looking for those support and resistance. When we come down and we hold support and we start to curl back up, that's your signal to, you know, make an entry. Okay, Civic, sure. Let's take a look at Civic real quick. Civic, I think it's ahead of its time, you know, voting protocol. And I also think that if Ethereum can do that too. You know, there's no reason that you need a specified chain for voting and stuff, unless they do other stuff now too, I don't know. But yeah, it's, you know, we're selling the story. We're late in the cycle now. If you're just getting into crypto now, you need to realize that you're buying above the value zone. So if you don't sell, if you don't harvest profits, you're actually going to hold these coins to below where you purchased them at. So if history is to repeat itself, okay? Take that into consideration. If this bull market continues, you're going to see a hell of a lot of profit. Realize some of those gains, harvest some of those profits. Nobody ever went broke taking profit. Yeah, we're moving up. We're taking the stairs up on this one. Holding support, I think it's still got a little bit of room to come down, actually. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I think this one's got a little bit more room. Let's check out the Bitcoin pair. Look for that confluence, because some of them are in no man's land, and when they're in no man's land, just check out the Bitcoin pair and see if there's you know, a case that can be built there. Okay, I got 10 minutes left. Yeah, I'm not seeing very good support on Civic. There's a potential we come down again. Yeah, monitor this one. Keep an eye on this one. Old drawings from way back when. yeah, just we failed to really sit we got a failure here. You know, we didn't make a higher high on the Bitcoin comparative, and we didn't, you know, we do have a tentative higher low, but we really got to start breaking out some of those highs. Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. Look at the amount of selling that occurred here. Not a fantastic chart, if I'm perfectly honest. No, I'll probably hold ETH for the purposes of maintaining a wallet, you know, keeping a wallet liquid. But yeah, all my profits are going to go into Bitcoin, and then from there, they're going to go into US dollars, and the cycle will repeat. Don't be fooled. There's a big narrative out there saying this time is different. Those are the four most expensive words in the human language. Is this time is different. Okay. SNX. I'm actually running out of time, Genster. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. But you're in the private group, so hit me up in like 9 minutes when we're in the virtual classroom, and we can absolutely go ahead and take a look at those. Okay, good to see you. What about US dollar currency index? Are you following it also on the chart? Aren't you worried about the strength gaining of the dollar? When the strength of the dollar rises, the strength of Bitcoin decreases and vice versa. Yeah, there's a correlation there, but I'm not worried. Yeah, I don't chart it. Bitcoin isn't even a part of that index. So when you're charting Bitcoin against US dollars, that's the performance. It's inversely correlated. The DXY is an index of global currencies like the Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, the Japanese yen, you know, the Chinese yuan. I don't know if I'm right there, but basically they take an index of all the global currencies and they compare the rest of the world's currencies against the US dollar. When we chart Bitcoin, we're charting it against the US dollar. So when Bitcoin is going up against the US dollar, it is outperforming the US dollar. I keep it really simple. I don't spend too much time on the DXY. I mean, it has a general proposition against the global economics of the US dollar, but the US is printing a bunch. You know, Americans are getting a bunch of stimulus. A lot of those Americans are going to put those into investments. I'm really not worried. We're in a bull market. I'm not worried. Okay, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for joining into the stream here. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're new to the stream, I would love to welcome you in. Go ahead and hit the follow button. And until next time, please trade safe. It's a jungle out there. Peace.
Welcome to my dream.